science snippets, fun facts, and trivia. Today, we bring you, was human evolution just a coincidence? Unbelievable stories of evolution. Welcome to the fascinating story of human evolution. Have you ever wondered how humans developed and why we evolved the way we did? Today, we'll explore a crucial question: was human evolution just a coincidence, or was it inevitable? Let's start with Darwin's theory of evolution. Darwin proposed that all species, including humans, evolved through natural selection. In simple terms, individuals with traits that helped them survive passed those traits to their offspring, leading to gradual changes over time. This process, over millions of years, shaped not only us, but the entire range of life on Earth. One of the most pivotal moments in our evolutionary story was the development of bipedalism, walking on two legs. This freed up our hands for tasks like tool-making and food gathering, sparking a cascade of developments. As our ancestors began using tools, their brains grew larger, leading to enhanced intelligence, problem-solving, and the ability to communicate through complex language, traits that are now central to what makes us human. But here's where it gets interesting: were these changes inevitable? Or did random chance play a significant role? What if our environment had been different? Could we have remained more primitive, never developing the brains or tools that set us apart? Some scientists argue that these traits were destined to evolve because they provided a clear survival advantage. Others believe that much of human evolution was shaped by random events, like climate shifts that forced our ancestors from forests into open savannas. The truth may lie somewhere in between. Natural selection and chance both played a role. In the next section, we'll explore how unexpected accidents in our evolutionary journey helped shape the species we are today. Now, let's dive into the evolutionary accidents that shaped us. Evolution is not always a smooth, predictable process. In fact, many of the changes that made us human may have been the result of random events or mutations that occurred purely by chance. A key factor in evolution is genetic mutations, small changes in DNA that happen randomly. While many mutations have no significant effect, some can lead to important traits that help a species survive. One famous example is the ability to digest lactose as adults. This mutation allowed some human populations to survive by consuming dairy products, which provided an essential food source in environments where other resources were scarce. Another accident of evolution is what we might call the survival of the luckiest. While natural selection is often described as survival of the fittest, luck has played a major role in the survival of our ancestors. For instance, early humans may have avoided extinction from natural disasters or diseases simply by being in the right place at the right time. Other species, which were equally fit for survival, may not have been so lucky. There's also the question of whether certain key traits, like our large brains, were just accidents that turned out to be useful. Some scientists believe that these developments were not driven by an immediate need, but were side effects of other evolutionary processes. Over time, these accidents became essential parts of what makes us human. These random factors shaped the course of our evolution in ways we're only beginning to understand. As we move forward, we'll look at how our evolutionary journey compares to that of other species, and why humans, out of millions of species, became the dominant form of life on Earth. Now that we've explored some of the accidental factors in human evolution, let's take a look at how our evolutionary journey compares to that of other species. Humans might seem unique, but we share much of our evolutionary history with other animals. So what made us different? First, consider our closest relatives, the primates. Chimpanzees, for example, share nearly 99% of their DNA with humans. Despite these genetic similarities, chimpanzees didn't evolve complex societies, advanced tools, or sophisticated language. So why did humans? One possible explanation is the environmental pressures our ancestors faced, which were different from those of other primates. As humans left the forests and adapted to life on the savanna, they were forced to rely more heavily on tools, cooperation, and communication to survive. This likely accelerated our cognitive abilities in ways other species didn't experience. But this leads to another fascinating question: why us, and not them? If evolution is about survival of the fittest, why did humans rise to the top, while other species with similar potential didn't? Some scientists believe it wasn't just about fitness. It may have been luck. For instance, humans may have avoided natural disasters or diseases that wiped out other species, simply by being in safer environments. Other species, equally fit to survive, may not have had the same stroke of fortune. Finally, it's intriguing to think about how different the world could have been if certain events had played out differently. What if humans hadn't evolved tool use or advanced language? What if another species, like Neanderthals, had survived instead of going extinct? Evolution is full of what-ifs, and small changes in the past could have led to vastly different outcomes. As we continue, we'll explore whether humans are still evolving, and what the future of human evolution might look like. You might wonder, are humans still evolving? The answer is yes. Human evolution didn't stop once we became Homo sapiens. It's an ongoing process that continues to shape us even today. One clear example of ongoing evolution is the genetic changes we see in populations across the world. For instance, certain populations have developed resistance to diseases, like malaria, through genetic adaptation. Another example is the continued evolution of lactose tolerance, which allows people to digest dairy products into adulthood. In regions where dairy farming became essential, people with this mutation had a survival advantage, and it became more common over time. But the forces driving our evolution have shifted in the modern world. Instead of just adapting to the natural environment, humans are now shaping their own evolution through technology and culture. Advances in medicine, for example, allow people to survive and reproduce, who might not have been able to in the past, changing the course of natural selection. At the same time, our modern lifestyle, such as diets high in processed foods and a lack of physical activity, creates new evolutionary pressures. Obesity and heart disease, for instance, may affect which traits are passed on to future generations. So, what does the future hold for human evolution? As we venture into new environments, like space, or continue to develop genetic technologies, humans could undergo profound changes. It's even possible that future humans will look and behave very differently from how we do now. Evolution doesn't have a finish line, and we're still in the midst of it. Next, we'll wrap up by revisiting the question of whether human evolution was driven by coincidence or inevitable forces, and what that means for our species' future. As we reach the end of our journey through human evolution, we come back to our original question: was human evolution just a coincidence, or was it inevitable? On one hand, random factors, like genetic mutations and environmental changes, played a significant role in shaping our species. Some traits, such as lactose tolerance and bipedalism, seem to have arisen almost by accident, yet they became crucial for our survival. These developments suggest that luck had a hand in our evolution. Small, random changes over time led to big shifts that eventually made us who we are today. But on the other hand, natural selection also pushed humans towards certain traits that gave us a clear survival advantage. Traits like walking upright, using tools, and developing complex language were likely critical for our ancestors' survival in harsh environments. It's possible that, regardless of the randomness involved, humans were destined to develop these traits because they were so advantageous for survival. So, was our evolution truly an accident, or were we always on this path? The truth is likely somewhere in between. While chance events played a role, there were also clear advantages to the traits we developed. Evolution isn't entirely random, but it's not fully predictable either. It's a complex process influenced by many factors, including both chance and necessity. As we look to the future, we can see that evolution is still ongoing. The forces shaping us today, whether they are environmental, cultural, or technological, will continue to influence the direction of human development. Our story is far from over, and it's exciting to think about what the next chapter might bring. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.